Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to our special shit month. We have Bad Anime Month this month, and today we also have a special guest. We have Julie here because she also fell down the Vampire Night pipeline. So we're gonna talk about what happens after the 6 episodes afterwards, but Valen, Tara,
Yes.
what did you think of Vampire Night? Did I subject you to this?
Okay, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a bit drunk for this because that'll make it better. I think it actually made it worse. Uh,
Oh no!
because I cared even less than I thought than I would have otherwise. I literally just
I,
my eyes just started glazing over, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about anything. But
I,
well, go ahead.
I was gonna say that I don't think that would have changed even if we weren't drunk. Because I didn't care. I was like, I don't understand. I don't like we've seen how much can be portrayed in 6 episodes, right? So it's not even like 6 episodes wasn't enough time or anything. Because we just saw Jujutsu Kaisen and we watched 6 episodes from that. And we could understand the story, the plot, and the characters. That was all fine. Here I was like, okay, so what is the plot? It was just like slice of life for like 3 episodes, and then kind of plot happens, but then plot kind of backtracks at some point, everything. And then the tone is all over the place too.
Oh my god, the tone shift to this is so bad. It'll go from like goofy comedy to immediate steps my life has always been miserable. It's like what the fuck? It's so and it doesn't help the fucking voice acting does not help with this at all.
No.
It's bad. Especially I mean, okay, part of it is just the English. We watched the dub because we had to, make it a high quality experience. But that was definitely part of it, especially Yuki's voice acting is really emotionless. Everyone's emotionless, and it's you could tell what the dialogue is just so overbloated. It thinks it's being super deep and serious, and it's bro, you're a 13-year-old on Tumblr, shut the fuck up.
What was that one line? It was her foot gets frozen by one of the vampires. Apparently they never explain why the vampires have these elemental powers or whatever. That's just never explained, but one of them freezes her foot, and then it takes her a full minute before she's like, my foot is frozen to the ground. And it's well, yes, you didn't have to say that out loud. We know your foot is frozen to the ground.
So yeah, it's not good.
No.
It's not good.
No.
Would you care to tell us about the 3 main characters? We'll save Yuki for last. You can start with either Zero or Kaname.
I'm fucking dying, guys.
I mean, Kaname is just fucking, I don't give a shit. He just exists and he says things that's supposed to sound deep, and then he walks away and everyone's like, ugh! And that's the whole thing, and nobody cares. I mean, I don't care. The characters care, but I don't.
I mean, I think you summed it up pretty well.
And then
the weird thing with him is that it's he'll say things suddenly, and there's a shift in episode 3 or wherever where he's suddenly cares about Yuki or stuff, but prior to that it looked like she was just pining over him. I don't know what happened there.
And yeah, and then honestly, I know you're saying Zero was the only person you care about. I don't give a fuck about Zero. Honestly, I find it boring as sin. So I don't give a shit about him either. And he's all his whole thing is oh, my life sucks. I want to commit die. And it's okay, then do it, bitch. Whatever. and then
Talk about Yuki.
Yuki is just the epitome of just dumb bitch. That's it. There's nothing else to say. She just exists, and then it's life is hard, and it's you just make things hard for no reason, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. Bad. No thoughts, head empty.
For me, Zero, I could kind of agree with Valen. I didn't really. I mean, out of the three, he was, I guess, the most level-headed. I
He's
mean,
the
we
least bad, I guess.
Yeah, he's the
but-
least. He was the least bad, and I guess you understood the most from his perspective what was going to happen. Because I assume that the reason that they showed the audience what a level E is, which by the way, they didn't explain what they kept mentioning level E, and then finally in like the third or fourth episode, they finally explained what it was. But prior to that, we were given no explanation of what it was.
Also, like it's such like a fucking anime name. Like literally, they just call it level E, and it's like E for the end, and it's like, boy, okay, like that's the most fucking edgelord shit I've heard. It's like, so what? Like they have like no like level A, B, or C, or D, or anything. No, just level E for the end.
I couldn't even remember that because I was like, oh, are there 5 levels? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I just remember level E. I forgot it meant the end. Fuck.
I was just like, okay, so they have like 5 levels. No, it's just
no, apparently not.
They couldn't have come up with a more whatever. Anyway, so he was the least bad of the 3, but at the same time, I was also just like, dude, like, the reason they showed the level E is presumably that's to show like how crazy and destructive and terrible they are when they get to that point and everything. And Zero, spoilers, Zero is going to become a level E, presumably. I don't know if he actually becomes a level E.
I don't actually remember.
But regardless, he's fine. I feel like a lot of his terrible things that happen are because of Yuki, which Yuki is...
Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I want to die because I don't want to like harm people or bite people. And she's like, no, just drink my blood instead. And it's like, dude, he doesn't want to do that. Is there any point at which you have actually listened to his feelings instead of, I don't know, going into his room without his permission, undressing him without his permission, washing him without his permission? It's just...
Oh my god, no, like literally,
it makes me think of that Vine of like the guy who's like, dude, that's your area. She can't do that to you.
No, like I found it so funny that like every episode they were fucking Yuki was just like, Zero's not in class today, and I'm like, every fucking day he's not in class.
This is an anime. School only exists for like the first like episode.
But it's so funny because they kept like making, oh my god, it's so weird, he's not in class. And I'm like, bro, he's been not in class this whole time.
There's
he
like
never goes to class.
There's like 2 episodes, 2 times maybe that he's been in class sitting.
But then he like leaves immediately.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh my god, it's so...
Yuki is very... I feel like it's more... The reason she's keeping Zero alive is not so much for his sake, but her sake and not being the bad person. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then she has like 20 billion personalities. She'll be like happy and perky, but then like sullen and emo like 2 seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she switches accounts or something on Tumblr. It's like one account's supposed to be the happy sunshine account and the other one's the dark and dismal account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She has alts on Discord.
Yeah, and like... What was I gonna say? Shit, I don't even remember. I don't know.
Too much alcohol.
Yuki?
I don't know. It's just bad.
You had 1 mic. Calm down.
I did, but like this is so fucking draining to watch. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's so like nothing happened. Like how many things happened in these 6 episodes? Like
Not much.
she gets attacked by like a vampire thing like twice.
No, 3 times.
Okay, 3 times. All the
Oh,
girls
yeah.
fucking
Also-
pine over the pretty vampire boys like several times, and then also the thing.
They
with,
went
like,
to a party.
and then there's the thing with like the vampire hunter guy in like episode like 5 and 6, and it's like that's it.
Yeah. Which the vampire hunter guy literally just changed his tone in like a second or two.
Yeah.
Everything is Yuki's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I feel like we should pass the mic over.
Okay, Julie, you can go first.
No, you watched it most recently. I'll let you go
Oh.
first.
Oh God. Okay.
I have a lot of feelings, mostly towards Yuki, because fuck Yuki. I feel the
Yeah.
same about Yuki the same way you feel about Katniss. Fuck her. Get the shit
Yeah, but-
out of my life. Ugh.
We'll talk about Yuki. So
Okay. Okay, but can we say the only character I really cared about was Himbo Dad? He was good.
oh yeah, Himbo Dad. I forgot. I don't remember. He survives until the end, right? Because
Yeah, he
I
does.
dropped the. I think I dropped it after the one ancestor got revived, and then I was just like, I don't understand what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the ending, and we'll talk about the other thing that happens. Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay. Yuki.
You
No,
said so
wait. We need to
defeated.
talk about everything else to talk about Yuki,
Okay,
don't we?
Yeah, we have to like get back to everything else because like we're starting from the premise that everything's Yuki's fault. So first of all, Zero, that stupid but poor traumatized child.
Yeah.
I think that's a very accurate way to put it.
Yeah.
Like,
So everything just gets worse for him.
yeah. Like he ends up chained in Kaname's basement, and there's like some weird like gay tension for a minute, and like
His
yeah.
brother is alive.
Yeah, his brother's alive. He looks exactly the fucking same. It's kind of funny. Like, and it's fucking weird, and like Yuki just like fucks with him some more, and it's really annoying. And I just fucking Zero, dude. I don't know.
Oh, I remember the thing I was gonna say.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
It was about the character designs.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, if anything ever looked so 2004, I don't know what it is.
No,
And
okay.
Studio Dean.
Because, like, here's the thing. So I was like, this reminds me of, like, another anime, and I hate it. Because I hate it because of that it reminds me of this, because I'm like, fuck, these character designs remind me of the character designs of Code Geass, and that pisses me off. But here's the thing. The thing is, the Code Geass designs actually, like, emote. So it's
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? There we go. It's good enough.
Good enough.
Because like, it's because I know people have kind of shot on the Code Geass designs before because they are kind of like weirdly skinny.
That is true, yeah.
So
That's Clamp for you.
They're
yeah,
very pointy.
yeah. So it's
Mm.
kind of similar, but like the fact like they're all in this, they're all just so dead inside and look like they're staring off into nothing like all the time. And I'm like,
Big
at least
lifeless eyes.
yeah, so like at least the Code Geass people, you actually believe their fucking expression. So
I
okay.
think they all.
Wait.
This is all just a mass hallucination for vitamin D deficiency because the sun never comes out in anime.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
It's always sundown or something. That reminds me though. So there's a point where she goes into the town, and like the town is shown to be like this really spooky place or whatever, which she gets attacked by 2 vampires, because of course she does. And then again they show the town, and then prior to that, the same episode, she gets attacked by the 2 vampires, and the streets are empty, and it's so spooky and everything. Zero is in a ramen shop.
I just didn't remember that.
He's just chilling and eating ramen, and the guy's like talking to him and everything, and it's just like, what? And they cut between the two too, so it's not even like one scene is supposed to be high tension and one scene's supposed to be down low. No, they just cut between the two. And then again, when they go into town, there's like one scene where it's like nice and happy and cheerful. And then the next scene, suddenly everyone's gone. And there's yet again another vampire. It's like, what happened in this town? Is it creepy or is it nice?
Also, the fact you
don't
mentioned you were
remember.
like, this looks like, European, like, medieval kind of thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
why is there a ramen shop here?
Well, they can't put ye old McDonald's in there.
I guess not. But then there's like businessmen that were dressed like salarymen that like appear out of nowhere too. And it's like they couldn't choose what aesthetic they wanted to go for.
I still don't have any clue like what era this is supposed to take place in
Yeah.
because I think some of the other students had like other jobs, and I remember I was like, that's kind of weird. But
yeah, but no,
they
wait, okay,
never
hold
really
on.
specify it.
Let's just address the setup of this, because the setup is fucking
Oh
stupid.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have this one school that somehow has like classes for like humans, but then later at the night classes for vampires, but like they're not supposed to interact with each other, but they're in the same building, but there's like these two kids who are supposed to like prevent people from interacting. There's only two of them though, and like, but yet they still clearly do interact because all the girls like the vampire guys, and like, okay, but like the whole thing is the headmaster is like, oh, I want people to like learn to, interact with each other and like, get along, but then he admits later that like this is a terrible idea, like if they interact with people will die, so it's like, well then why the fuck did you do this? So it's just like,
Himbo dad for you.
And then there's like the amount of level E's that are apparently running around and everything, and it's like there seems to be like a very easy solution to all of this.
Oh my god.
And then
Well,
the
I guess we
vampires were
should-
like, yeah, let's hunt the level E's and everything, and it's like,
I guess we should talk about the purebloods then, because
Okay.
I remember this was something.
Can I
It's
go off
so
on this
funny.
again? Because I
Okay.
don't understand this.
Yeah,
So-
do that,
Go
and
ahead.
then we'll talk about something.
So they say, unless I get this wrong, they said, and you guys can correct me, that the way that the level E's, whatever, show up is that if a pure blood bites a human.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Apparently.
so apparently there's a lot of level E's around, but even though there's like only a couple pureblood families, and there's only like the one that's like in this area or whatever. So like, okay, but then again, I think at one point, fucking Kanabe says like, oh, we used to do this a lot or something. So like, I guess, but I don't know. It still seems pretty flimsy. Okay, whatever. That's like the least of the problem. But then it's like, okay, but then there's also these like not pureblood vampires. So like, how do they exist if like the purebloods only make the type E's? How do you get the normal vampire people to exist? And I'm like, do you have to just like have like kids? But I'm like, purebloods having with pureblood x pureblood, wouldn't that result in more pureblood?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work. So what does that mean? Like a vampire pureblood has to like have a kid with like a human, but like the whole thing is that vampires like uncontrollable lust for blood. So you're telling me that they were able to control that lust to actually like have sex and birth like a child? What? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Please continue in your so you talked about Zero. What about Kaname?
It's very bland.
Yeah. He
I wanna
doesn't
bring-
get much better. Hmm?
Yeah, no, I was gonna bring this up, but I don't know if you want to save that towards the end. What happens with him and Yuki and their whole thing.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
I mean, the whole pureblood thing will segue very nicely into that discussion.
Oh no.
I love this. And by love it, I mean I hate it. Yeah. No, he's very, like, boring. He's kind of like Tuxedo Mask. He just, like, shows up for a minute and then says something vague and then leaves. You know?
Yeah.
And, like, I forget who was saying, like, Valen was saying, like, that he didn't care about Yuki. Like, it just kind of seemed that she was, like, oh, wow, senpai. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then later he, like, cares about her. But I think that might have just been because he saw that, like, oh, shit, Zero's, like, moving in. So maybe that was it. And he's, like, just a dumbass. But, like, Yeah, Kaname just doesn't get better, even when he starts to talk more. I'm just like,
Right.
oh god.
Even when he starts to talk more, he's about as interesting as a piece of stale bread.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he's just kind of very, very stale and like not super interesting. Like we don't even like see him fight or like do anything interesting. What the fuck? Whatever.
No.
Hey. And Yuki.
That fucking bitch. I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel like most people hate her. I mean, most people with half a brain still hate her.
I think it's just because like she is supposed to be the protagonist, quote unquote. But she like, you know, in the first like couple of episodes where she has like her quarterstaff or whatever, like she seems like she might be able to hold her own, you know, maybe possibly. But literally like things, she just like lets things happen to her or like sets herself up or something, and then something happens and she's like, oh no, you know, and like she just like stands there and does nothing.
Yeah,
like
they give her
literally
this
nothing.
like
she becomes like the, you know, the token like useless anime girl who like, you know, is powerful for like the first like 10 minutes, but the minute a male character shows up, she's like, oh my god, I can't do anything.
no, because literally she has this like fucking like staff thing that's apparently important, and I'm like, okay, so she's gonna like beat someone up with it, and like, no, literally that doesn't happen. Like the only time that it comes close is fucking Zero, or is it called? I remember someone steps up and uses it instead, and it's like, okay, fucking you do nothing.
Yeah, she literally does nothing, and like, you know, just kind of puts herself in places where you're just like, dude, like fucking, oh my god,
she's so selfish.
She's hella like, selfish, and like it just pisses me off that like she doesn't, even when she's trying to be selfish, like she doesn't do anything. You know, she's not like actively. She just like waits for everything to come to her, and it's just like, dude, like fucking do some shit. Like what the.
And then the author just gives her everything. She gives her everything. When we say everything, we mean everything.
Oh, yeah. She's not even a Mary Sue because she's not like powerful.
Yeah, she's a failed Mary Sue.
She's just Yuki.
Yeah, she's just fucking Yuki. She's I call her a cotton ball because she's just fucking. Yeah, she's squishy and like very pointless and like just doesn't do anything.
I mean, but cotton balls at least have a use.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe a dust bunny is a more accurate term.
No. She's a period pad. Or a tampon.
I think that's Zero because that's how much blood he absorbs and how much he gets used.
Oh, that's true. Poor guy.
He gets used and thrown away.
Literally.
Yeah, he's not even a diva cup. He's just a tampon. Like a drugstore tampon.
Discount tampon.
Wow.
Or Zero. Anyway, fuck Yuki Cross. Just fuck her. I hate her so goddamn much. Every time she's on screen, I'm like, this anime could literally be just about Zero or just about Kaname, and it would be way more interesting than like whatever the fuck Yuki's doing in the background.
Yuki just automatically makes everything worse.
Exactly. Exactly.
There was like, when you mentioned that she like puts herself into situations, it reminded, I don't know when this happened, but she was like, I want to go to the moon dormitory. Then she almost gets, oh no, that was when she was like, my foot is frozen to the ground. And it's like, she literally talks to the one vampire that has attacked her before and everything. And she's like, oh, loop-de-doo, I'm going to go and talk to Kaname or whatever. And then she gets attacked. And then Kaname saves her. And then she ends up outside the moon dormitory. And it's like, what was the whole point of this?
I know. Oh my god. Can we just mention that Ido is such a man whore? It's really great.
Yeah, he is. Oh my god. The way Yuki says Kaname in this dub is so triggering.
Oh god, I know. Like I realized that this was kind of during the dark ages of anime dubs, like when like
it was
particularly heinous.
Yeah.
But like, you know, putting a shitty dub over an even shittier anime just like it just enhances the experience in such a horrifically bad way.
It does.
Yeah, but
There's like
I can't fucking stand her voice too. It's just like so bad.
Mm-hmm.
there's like this one part where I think Valen, it was like where they were like all the vampires suddenly were confronting Zero, and like Valen, it kept cutting like between
Oh
all of
yeah.
them.
Yeah, there was this just like conversation that was happening, and it was like 4 different people talking in the conversation, but it would show a shot of like, you know, kind of all of them standing in a group, and then it would cut to like one of them talking for like 2 seconds, and then cut back to the group shot, like in the middle of when the guy's talking. It was so weird. I'm like, who edited this?
Studio Dean.
Oh my god. I literally, so I don't know shit about Studio D, so I just happened to look at like what they did, and I'm like, I know fucking none of this. Like none of what they did like made.
They did Higurashi, and like
Oh, I didn't even
the
see
first season of Higurashi, it's really dopey, but it does enhance the experience because one, it helps you sit through the gore, and two, the Higurashi faces that came out of it are golden. But season 2 they fixed it.
Yeah, well, it's that, and then there was like they did one of like the versions, that 18,000 different versions of Fate, but like that's all I know.
Oh, the one that
yeah.
I hate.
So I don't know anything about Fate, so I can't comment on anything. But yeah,
Fate's Day. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. This is a Saber hate account. Fuck Saber.
Anyway, Vampire Nights. So, what is all this about the pure blood?
Daddy Himbo said that in that one scene, I don't remember which episode that, okay, Kaname is the only member of the Koran family right now.
Mm-hmm.
We get introduced to 2 more during the plot. One is the ancestor guy that I said that I was like, I don't know what's happening, I'm gonna leave. The other one is his sister, Yuki.
Oh, I remember this.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Yuki is a Koran, and she is his sister.
Why?
I just remembered that, and it makes it even more painful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess this is one of the few things that I remember. So Yuki, okay, in the beginning with the flashback that we keep cutting back to every 2 minutes during the goddamn anime. That was when Yuki's memories got sealed away by her parents, who are they're not technically Kaname's parents, but they're still related. There's
what?
Wait.
Kaname is her brother and her ancestor at the same time.
Yeah, so Kaname is technically like her brother and her like either grandfather or dad.
What?
Yeah.
So like I know you were asking like, oh, how do they keep having children? They just gotta keep recycling souls.
I'm confused. Can you please
why?
explain this a little bit further for us?
I don't remember the explanation. All
Yeah,
I remember,
it's really dumb as fuck. I can't remember either.
inbreeding is a thing in Vampire Night.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can't have, not that you can't, but you just like don't have kids with outsiders. You just kind of, you know,
Inbreed.
Like, you inbreed. And like that one chick that like one, I remember there was like a whole like, I don't remember if it, I think it kind of showed up in the anime, but like I remember it more clearly in the manga, like one of the girls in the Moon Dormitory who was like simping all over Kaname, and like she there was definitely this weird like moment of like sexual tension where she's like, oh my god, please just like fuck me already. Not actually like that, but basically like, you know, Kaname is like, I don't really give a shit about you, but I'm gonna do it anyway because like I'm so horny for Yuki that like I can't control myself. And it kind of sucks for her because she's just like, yay, he loves me, and he's like, I just need a fix.
No.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember that. Did that happen after the ancestor got awakened, or?
I think it might have been after. I don't actually remember.
Okay,
so I didn't. Valen.
I think Valen's probably dead. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the.
I just don't know what's going on.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that happens, and you know,
he's her brother, her dad, and her grandfather at the same time.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
What about her mother?
fucking remember what she did. I just remember
Yeah,
she
I don't
was,
remember what happened to her mother. I just know she was murdered, and that's just kind of
yeah, she died. That's all I remember.
All right, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so later, I don't remember what happens in the middle because I had only like read the summary of what happened in the last chapter. Okay, so Yuki gets with both Kaname and Zero.
Okay.
It's not
Ow.
Polly though, because Kaname like had to like get sealed away in like a deep slumber or something. So before he goes there, he goes to sleep. She fucks him, and then she gets pregnant. So she has Kaname's kid, and then she marries Zero and has his kid. But then in the sequel, the two kids fall in love.
What the fuck?
Oh. God.
Why? What is wrong with these people?
So actually, Twilight is better than Vampire
Like,
Night.
fuck.
Why
Like
though?
that- like
Why
that-
did they?
Exactly.
Because at least they're not related in Twilight. Fuck, dude.
Like, that's the thing. Like, they made a choice. Like, to fucking you write it like that. Like this. Oh my god, this reminds me of something I was actually talking about in my fucking show video that I recorded a bit ago. Is because there's a. I'm gonna fucking not explain this complexity of this, but basically, like, there's the whole thing where they basically manufacture a sex situation where it's like decidedly not heterosexual. So it's like, okay, only to then immediately kill off one of those characters. So it's like you literally like tried as hard as possible to do the bury your gays trope. And it's like it's like no way you can argue it's an accident. Like this is the same fucking way. Like, what are you doing? Like you're literally doing this on purpose.
Wow.
What the fuck is wrong with people? Okay. Why? Oh my god.
So, in order to make sure she got with both of them, she literally got with both of them. And then now her children by both of them are now going to get together.
Oh, by the way, after she has the two kids, Zero eventually dies, and Itanomi awakens, and then she marries him afterwards.
Yeah,
Wow.
so she never without a man.
Oh my god.
And again, Zero
It's like
still
she
got
literally
work
just
to
kept
do.
like the backup husband in the freezer, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
Sorry.
god. Fucking.
Continue.
Is there much else to say?
I don't know.
No, there's really not. I think there's so much bad in this anime. Like, even disregarding the story, like, just the way it was produced, the voice acting, the character designs, yes, the animation choices, just everything just like coalesced to make this a significantly worse experience than it like would have been. Like, it would have been awful otherwise. But it I think it was just like I read the manga, and the manga is like pretty cheesy, but you kind of ignore some of that, like because you kind of narrate it in your own brain. So
it is a bit cheesy. It was a bit more tolerable reading it because you can.
Yeah, again, you can narrate it or like kind of interpret things differently, or kind of just like we're just like, gonna ignore that part and like things.
It's also it's not ugly as sin either.
Yeah, it's less ugly in the manga, but like again, watching the anime, I was just like, oh god, this is even more god awful. Like what the fuck? And like
it makes the flaws much more. The flaws become much more apparent.
Yeah. And that like, I mean, I realized they couldn't like actually they could have, but I knew they couldn't. The plot demanded that this couldn't happen, but there was so many times where Zero's like, I'm going to commit die, and Yui's like, no, and I'm just like, Zero could have literally just like fucked off into the woods and just like
and then he done it never had to do any of this.
Yeah. And then
poor traumatized idiot Free.
Well, eventually, I guess he does because he dies at some point.
Fucking dies. Well, at least he doesn't try to get with one of his children. That would have been even better.
Yeah.
I mean, he was always human at one point. Yuki was never actually human.
Yeah. Yes.
And
So,
He was always
Apparently,
thirsting for that incest.
well, yeah, especially that scene where like Yuki gets like fucking awakened or whatever, and I'm just like, I really hate watching this.
Well, that was an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Valen, do you want to talk about what the next week is going to be about?
Okay. So me being the resident non-weeb, my definition of anime is a little bit broader than other people. So we are watching something that is a Western creation, and I know this is something that has its fans. Um, you're wrong, but okay. Um, so I'm going to have to double check this because I'm second guessing myself in terms of the length of this. But the plan as of right now is we are going to watch season 1, or excuse me, volume 1 of Ruby.
Oh boy.
Now, I have seen volume. I saw volume 1 actually without, because I know, oh, you came into it trying to hate it. No. I legitimately was like, I thought people liked this, so I'm going to watch it. And I watched volume 1, and I'm like, wow, this is not good. So, I don't know anything about. Well, okay, I know a couple things about stuff that happens in the later seasons, but like not much. I haven't seen anything past volume 1. So. Yeah, but the plan is we'll watch all of Volume 1 because I believe there's like 10 or so episodes, but I think they're pretty short. So that's the double checking thing though, because I'm like, maybe I'm wrong and they're actually full length. I don't think they are though. So we'll see. And yeah, that's next. I don't think it's quite as bad as this though.
Yeah, I imagine. I feel like
it
I have
definitely
actually
doesn't have
picked the worst
incest.
thing.
Yeah, there's no
I've picked the
incest.
worst thing.
There's no incest in Ruby, I think. As far as I know. Well, okay. Actually, I kind of have a comment on that, but that'll come later.
Oh
Uh-oh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was so funny. Like when he said, "I'm watching Vampire Night," I was like, "Don't talk about incest. Don't talk about incest." Anyway, continue. Sorry.
so that's next. That will be up in 2 weeks, assuming everything goes according to plan.
Mhm.
Oh boy. And then I'll have my pick at the very end of the month.
Yes, which will be
Yeah.
completely
Oh, boy.
normal and not haphazardly thrown together in any way whatsoever.
Yep.
Okay. Well, see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.